What are the
What is the time
departments?
frame that the
N1,
NRTC website is open
Manpower
for
and Human
applications?
Resources.
Begins April
N3,
1st and ends
Operations.
December 31st.
N4,
When is the
Supply,
best time for a student to apply for
Logistics and
NRTC scholarship?
Facilities.
Between their
N5,
junior and
Strategic
senior
Plans.
years of high school.
N6, IT and
What does
Communications.
ISR mean? Immediate scholarship
N7,
reservation.
Training and Quality Assurance.
What are the minimum
N8,
requirements for an
Financial
ISR
Management.
applicant? Must be in the top
N9, Marketing.
20% of their class.
What
Minimum
department
composite
does
score
Nora
of
fall under?
1230 on the SAT,
N7.
with a 600 in
What
math, or minimum
department does
composite score of a
Webstein fall under?
54 on the ACT, with a 26
N5.
on math.
What
Who grants
department does
ISRs?
Price Shop fall
The
under?
skipper.
N3.
NRDCO. What is the
What are
purpose of the
NRC's guiding
ISR?
principles?
Gives the CO the
Mission
capability to
accomplishment,
attack hard to
teamwork,
penetrate
personal
markets,
growth,
schools
and
with
family
limited
support.
support,
What
but
is the
possess
training instruction?
the highly qualified applicants and the ability to
1500.4.
gain a highly qualified candidate
What is
that
the
will otherwise be
e-recruitment
lost to
instruction?
another services scholarship program.
1130.8.
What are the requirements for an NRTC scholarship?
What is the
Be a
o-recruitment
citizen.
instruction?
Must be 17 years of age by September 1st of the
1131.2.
year starting college,
What
and
is the
less than 22
PQS
years of age
instruction?
on 31 December of that year. Applicants must not
1136.2.
have reached their
What
27th
is the
birthday by
supplement
December
instruction?
31st of the year in which college graduation and commissioning are
5400.2.
anticipated.
What is the SORM
College
instruction?
students, to include existing NRTC college program
5400.1.
participants,
What is
with
the
30 or more
GLH
semester hours or
instruction?
45 or more quarter hours of college credit at a time
11.1.1.
they submit their application
What is
are
the MAP
not
instruction?
eligible.
Blueprints instruction
What age requirements must prior service applicants meet?
1430.16.
Applicants who have prior
What
service
is the
active duty
NROTC
military
instruction?
service may be eligible for age adjustments for the amount
1533.4.
of time equal
What
to
is
the
the
prior
command
service in a
inspection instruction?
month basis, for a maximum of
5040.2.
36 months provided they do not reach the 30th
Who is
birthday by December
the
31st of the
command's
year
training officer?
in which graduation
XO.
and commissioning
Whom
are
does the command
anticipated.
trainer work for?
What is
XO.
the service obligation
What are
for
the different
applicants to
types
select
of
NRTC
training?
scholarship? A military
Command
service
in dog,
obligation of 8
formal,
years, 5 of which
PQS or
must be served
JQR,
in active duty status for a
virtual
Navy option,
training,
and
on the
4
job,
years for nurse
Valor sales
options will
training,
be required for scholarship
in-rate training,
recipients.
and national
How many
trainings.
college options must the applicant list
When
on
is
the online
command in dog
application?
required to be
5.
completed?
Can an
Scheduled
active
within
duty
30
Navy
days and
member apply
completed
for an
within
NRTC
90
scholarship
days.
via CNRC? No.
What is meeting in a
Can
box?
other service active duty
Meeting in a
member
box are
apply for NRTC
designed
scholarship?
to be quick
Yes.
refreshers
They
and
must
training
obtain
aids
a
to
conditional
assist
release.
with OJT for valor
DDP
deficiencies
68.
or areas of improvement.
Can we ship an NRTC
How
applicant to
often are
RTC
recruiters and
who
classifiers
has not
required to
received a
complete a
final
sales lab?
selection result? No.
Monthly.
If a
What is the
midshipman jumps out
requirement
of the
for
RTC
in-rate
program
training
after
for
the
E4
first
to
day
E6?
of their sophomore year of
6 weeks
college,
prior to the
what
exam,
must they
but I
do
think
to
it's
be in
10
good
weeks.
standings with the government?
What is an
A minimum of 2
RFT?
years active in
Request for
enlisted
training from
service or
N7.
recoupment of all tuition
Who are
dollars
part
paid
of the command
may be
training team,
required for
CTT?
midshipmen who disenroll
At a
or
minimum, the
are disenrolled
XO,
from NRTC
CMC,
college
CMEO,
scholarship
CR,
program
CT,
for
and
academic or
division
personal
trainings.
reasons after the first day of their
What
sophomore
NRT
year.
department is in charge of
If
inspections?
disenrolled personnel who were
N7.
originally on active duty
What is the
and
purpose
were
of
released
command
early to serve an NRTC
inspections?
scholarship must
Command
complete the
inspections
original
are
enlistment
conducted to
contract.
ensure NRDs and NTACs are properly
What are the
organized,
minimum
trained,
ACT,
and supported to
SAT scores
accomplish
required for
assigned
NRTC?
missions.
ACT 22
How many
English and 21
inspections is
Math.
N7 required to do per
SAT
year? The
550
National Inspection
evidence-based
Team,
reading
NIT,
and writing, and
shall conduct at
540
least
Math.
11 command inspections each fiscal
So
year.
1090.
NRDs and TACs will be
Can the
inspected
CO grant a
at a
nurse option
minimum of
ISR?
every 3
No.
years in order to maintain
Is a
compliance
homeschool
with
applicant
managers'
eligible to be
internal
considered
control
for an
program
ISR? Yes.
requirements.
Applicants that have been
Who is
homeschooled
responsible
can
for the
apply for the
overall
ISR
conduct of the
with a
NIT
written
inspection
waiver
team?
request from the
The senior
NAFTUDIS or
inspector. How long does an NRD have to
NTAC
report
commanding
completion of
officer.
discrepancies
The
from
endorsement shall
inspection to
indicate
NRC
why
via
this
regions?
applicant should receive an ISR
90
with
days from
emphasis
inspection date.
on how awarding
How
the
often are
ISR
NRDs
enables the
required to
CO to
conduct
penetrate desirable
self-assessments?
markets.
Annually, October the 1st to
What is
September
fraudulent
30th.
enlistment?
How long
Mentioning
before basic recruiter
applicant
PQS becomes
information and the
delinquent?
wrongful influence of coaching of
45 days from
applicants.
reporting on
It is
board.
punishable under Article
Advanced recruiter
34 of the
PQS,
UCMJ.
6 months from reporting on board.
When shall station get a position
NRS
inspection?
LPO LCPO,
Whenever a Navy recruiting
18
station
months from
fails to
reporting
meet
on board.
its assigned new contract goals
DLCPO,
or two consecutive
for
months,
CRF personnel,
who can
18
grant a
months from
one-time waiver
graduating
for the
from the
production
academy.
inspection, RUPS or OIC?
Who attends a recruiter
What minimum
evaluation board?
qualification must
The board is
inspector
held for recruiters who fail to pass a
conducting the
recruiter
production
qualification
possess?
board
Must
by
be
their
DLCPO
90th day on
qualified.
board for the basic recruiter
When shall
module
locks and combinations be
and by their
changed to
9th
the
month
NRS?
on
Lock
board for the
combinations
advanced
shall be
recruiter
changed
module.
and submitted to
Or if they
after their
pass their
fitter
RQB, but whose
NTAC security
production has
officer
been
annually
continually
upon the
below
part of every
average during the
recruiter
first
assigned to
9
the
months on
station.
recruiting. How long
Recruiting
does the
personnel
sailor
have
have
to
to
disclose privacy
remediate
act
if they
information
fail their
learned
basic
if a
recruiter
prospect
PQS
is
board?
17 years old?
45
Yes.
days. How long does a sailor have
Where
to
can you find guidance
remediate
in
if they
Garmin
fail their
Legal
advanced
Rules?
recruiter BQS board?
Instruction
45 days.
4400.1
How
Logistics
long does a
Support
sailor
Manual.
have to remediate if they fail
What
their
is a
leading petty
Q&E and
officer
how long should
BQS
the
board?
recruiter maintain contact?
30 days.
Qualified but not
How long does
enlisted.
a sailor have to remediate if they fail their
Must be
DLCPO
contacted at least
PQS
one
board?
time per month for
90
6
days.
months. What does LEAD
How long does a
stand
sailor
for and
have to
how long are they
remediate if they
maintained?
fail their ACR DPL PQS
Local
board?
Effective Accession Delivery
90
Systems,
days and
LEADS.
must conduct rail along
Locally
with a
and
sitting
internationally
ACR
produced
picked
leads
by
shall
the
be
board.
maintained for 4
How long
months
does a sailor have
until
to
contracted
remediate if
or
they
when the
fail their
position
chief
renders the
recruiter
lead
PQS board?
unworkable, whichever comes
Follow
first.
recommendations of the board as approved by
What is the
CNRC.
purpose of blueprinting?
Who is the
To
GLH
reduce
housing
coal
coordinator?
reluctance.
E7 or above designated
What
by the
does
skipper.
STEAM stand for?
What
Spin drive
recommendations have to
territory
be met
evaluation and
by
analysis
a
for
sailor to
mapping.
qualify for GLH?
How many reports in
Be
STEAM and
assigned
what
to
are
any
they?
CNRC
There are 4
command.
reports. They
Be
investigate
eligible for
operation
BAH
quality
at the with
and
dependence
totals
rate.
market share
Be
reports.
accompanied by dependents.
What department
Out
is
of pocket
responsible for
housing
maintaining
expenses to
STEAM?
exceed 7.5 of BAH.
N52. What
Permanent duty
department is
station is
responsible for the
located
training of
outside a
STEAM to the
1 hour
field?
commute. Live
N7.
over 20 miles from any military
Where does
installation and
the
have at
data for
least
the
12 months
ASAT
left on
GNC
board
and
from
ASAT
PRD.
ACC come from?
Are
DMDC,
BDCP
Defense
or
Manpower Data Center.
HSCP candidates eligible
Where
for
does Navy
GLH?
new
No.
contract NET
If a
data
dual
come from?
military family qualifies for
Pride.
GLH, who loses
What
their
compromises the
BAH?
military available
Both
market?
members.
17 to 34
What
years old.
requirements must
What is
bachelor
our primary
sailors meet to
market?
qualify for GLH?
17 to 21 years old.
Bachelors are
What is
not
our
eligible for
secondary
government
market?
lease housing
22 to
program.
34 years
Bachelors
old.
can request a waiver due to
Summer
extreme
Education
financial
Code
hardship.
11B is what?
Request should be submitted via the commanding
Adult
officer to
education.
Navy Recruiting Command via
What
Recruiting
education code
Region
is used
Command.
for associates, bachelors, and master's
Are
degrees?
GEO bachelors
Associates is
eligible for
14B,
GLH? No.
bachelor's is
If a sailor
16K,
declines a suitable
master's
GLH unit,
18A.
how long do they have to
How
wait
many
to
college
reapply
credits
for
and or
GLH?
clock hours must a
1 year.
prospect possess to be
Can
considered
a
eligible
bachelor
automatically?
E9 qualify for a two-bedroom house? No.
15
All
semester
bachelors will
hours,
be assigned
22
to
quarter
apartment
hours,
complexes.
or 675
What
clock
size
hours.
house
They will be coded
does
as
an
an
EA with a
11-8.
spouse qualify for? Minimum
If an applicant
three-bedroom
is
home.
coded as 11M,
What
what does that
minimum
mean
time
and can
frame
be
must a
enjoyed?
member give to
Credit
command
attended
GLH
college to
coordinator
earn 15
notice
semester hours or
prior to
32
vacating a
quarter
GLH
hours.
unit?
Eligible to join
60
provided
days.
they can complete the approved
Who is
credits
the executing
within 1
agency
year
for
of
all
deadline.
housing requirements in GLH? The Army Corps Engineer.
How was market share figured out? Market share is determined for each recruiting station and division using the measures and that best identify potential recruiter at productivity. STEAM allows the NTAC considerable flexibility in identifying these factors. However, current experience indicates market share calculations are most impacted by a combination of population and production factors to provide a good indicator of market potential and is recommended. Market shares may be calculated with various weights and other combinations of data elements for comparison and to target other markets.
What is the minimum and maximum RAF for a small station? 0 to 2.8. What is the minimum and maximum RAF for a medium station? 2.8 to 4.8. What is the minimum and maximum RAF for a large station? 4.8 or greater. How is the NRS RAF calculated? RAF is calculated for each station by multiplying the station market share by the total number of production recruiters assigned to the NTAC. How many types of RAF are there and what are they? Traditional RAF, distance RAF, and test score 1 to 3 RAF. How is traditional RAF calculated? This RAF is historically referred to in STEAM as the recommended method. It should be used as a baseline of starting point from which alternative RAFs are compared. In the calculation of traditional RAF, 50% of the 17 to 21-year-olds in the market share and 50% of the calculation is based on the 3-year average of ASAT for that market area. How is distance RAF calculated? Like the traditional RAF method, this new method uses DoD accessions for the past 3 years, weighing each year at approximately 32%. However, it only considers accessions in zip codes that are within 25 miles from the station. The method adjusts the recruiter assignments for those stations covering extremely large areas. Comnacrucom market share shows that few contracts come from beyond 25 miles of any station. The aim of this method is to place the right number of recruiters closest to the largest number of potential accessions based on distance from the recruiting station. How is test score category 1 to 3 RAF calculated? This method is similar to distance RAF only in the last 3 years of ASAT. each weighted at 33%. However, it only uses territory from zip codes producing 5 or more TTCU 1 to 3 alpha accessions. The aim of this method is to replace recruiters in market areas that have historically produced high quality recruits. How often is Steam updated? Data updates in Steam are daily, monthly, quarterly, and annually. They're managed with the Steam Market Research and at ComNavCrewCom. What does SMART stand for? Station Market Analysis and Review Technique. What is the purpose of SMART? The SMART system was designed to target quality market centers. It shows where recruiting resources should be focused to achieve the best possible results. Recruiters can compare and analyze strengths and weaknesses in their AOR so new strategies and training methods may be applied. What are the parts of SMART? Territory map, DoD ASAT, goal recap, Deb status board, SOAR, high school community college data sheet. What does a red star on the territory map mean? NRS. If it has a P, it is a PTO. If it has an R, Military Research Center. Blue star, high school. If it is an N, high schools with NJRTC. Green star, two-year college. Gold star, four-year college. Silver star, trade school or VOTEC. What must be used to explain the codes in a map? Use a 3 by 5-inch card affixed to the station territory map to explain coding. How long do you keep ASAT reports? Current plus 2 years. How long do you keep goal recaps? Current plus 2 years. What is the purpose of the depth status board? It is used to maintain a 12-month rolling picture of the depth pool. Where should the depth status board be placed? It should be placed in a prominent location, visible to both the future sailors and prospects. What does SYTD will grad target stand for and its purpose? School year to date will grad target. It is the total number of will grads assigned as a target within the recruiting station for the present school year. This number will be a percentage of your total will grad market and will be assigned by the CR. What does DEPA sessions on the dev status board stand for? Number of new contracts to date for the current month. What are the color codes using in the dev status board? Black is workforce, males, blue will grad 11S males, red all NSW and all non-NSW NSO females, green all NSW NSO future sailors, and then now we have orange, which is um, uh, all nukes. What does SOAR stand for and what comprises it? School fair responsibility, and is comprised of all the zip codes and high schools. What is a high school community college data sheet? A school data sheet for each high school and community college in the recruiter's territory. The data sheet should be a Word or Excel document maintained on desktop or portal at station level. How must a data sheet contain? I'll blame it last. What must a data sheet contain at a minimum? School name, school website hyperlink, primary point of contact, male, female, senior population, how often the school can be visited, and STYD target. SYTD target is what I should say. How many years average are taken into account when conducting territory breakdown? 3 years of all of ASAT GNC. I'll say again, 3 years of ASAT GNC. What is the military available RC market? 18 to 31 years old. Well, 42. What is the RC primary market? Veterans, Navy veterans, 31 to 39 years old. What is the reserve component secondary market? Non-power service, 18 to 31 to 39, and OSVET, 21 to 39 years old. What is the difference between an enlistment and an affiliation? An enlistment is someone who is not under MSO time. An affiliation is someone who is still under MSO time. Military service obligation. What are the 5 basic target markets the Navy Reserve currently has? NAVET, OSVET, Price R, DPEP, and NPS, non-power service. What are the key What are the 5 key market sources for potential RC applicants? Public and private schools, junior and senior colleges, VOTEC schools, key info centers such as government offices, Chamber of Commerce, and hospitals. What does NOS stand for? Navy Operational Support Center. Now they're called NRCs, Navy Reserve Centers. What are the different modes of prospecting? Telephone, referrals, advertisement leads, mailouts, PDC, and social network. When discussing reserve recruiting, what does attain refer to? Enlisted or affiliated into the Navy Reserve. All paperwork is completed. The individual has an authorized reservation number, and their name is placed on an attainment report entered into Pride Mod. What is the primary purpose of phone power? To make contact with a prospect and obtain an appointment. What is referral prospecting? Referral prospecting is probably the easiest method for generating activity available to the recruiter. It entails nothing more than describing the type of individual you are looking for and then asking people if they know anyone who fits that description. How long does a recruiter have to contact a lead once it is entered into the system? 24 hours. How long does a lead have before it becomes overdue? 30 days. How long must a recruiter work a lead and how many times must it be contacted? It must be worked at a minimum for 4 months until final disposition. Must be attempted at least once a month. What is the purpose of the high school community college program? The primary purpose, like all recruiting programs, is to produce quality contracts. What are the three? There are the different types of access to schools. Full of access to schools. Full access, F full access, L limited access, and no access. What are the three types of status for schools? W working, NW non-working, NC non-cooperative. What is considered a Pri 1 school? Where the combination of male senior population minus those that go to a 4-year college as a pass rate, mental group 1 to 3 alpha percentage, pass and potential results, and access to schools indicates that the recruiter's efforts should achieve excellent results. The greatest number of senior 11S contracts. What is considered a Pri 2 school? Where the combination of the same factors in a Pri 1 school indicates that the recruiter should achieve good results when time and effort expended. What is considered a Pri 3 school? Where the combination of the same factors in the Pri 1 school indicate that the recruiter should only obtain sufficient contracts to keep the school working. How long does the NRS rank have to provide the DLCPO with a high school community college canvassing plan for the upcoming school year? 15th of June. What does RPMS stand for? Recruiting Production Management System. What is the purpose of the RPMS? It provides production personnel with the tools necessary to effectively plan and evaluate recruiting activities to achieve goal. What are the parts of the RPMS? Recruiter or recruiting station planner, recruiter and recruiting station app log, recruiter or recruiting station PATE, DLCPO itinerary, and nuclear field applicant log. What does PATE stand for? Production analysis, training, and evaluation. What are the parts of PATE? Section 1, prospecting generated. Section 2, prospecting summary. Section 3, prospecting plan guidance. And Section 4, other activity like walk-ins. How long do you keep the PATE for? Current plus 2 years. What is the primary method for planning and executing daily activities? Via the planner. What is the circle of life? PATE, planner, and app log. The PATE feeds the planner feeds the app log, and the app log feeds the PATE. What is the purpose of the DLCPO station visit? The purpose of the DLCPO visit are to provide training, improve production, and present awards. Upon completion of a station visit, the DLCPO is required to submit a visit report to the CR. What is DAPR? The Daily Production Review. Is one of the most critical operations in a Navy recruiting station. Major milestones was a recruiter go through between checking in to their 24th month on board. Command induct scheduled within 30 days, completed within 90 days. CDB within 30 days of check-in. Basic recruiter PQS within 45 days, and it's the only way to receive ASDAP. RDB Recruiter Development Board within 3 months. Advanced Recruiter PQS within 6 months. LPO LCPO PQS within 18 months. The LCPO is for CRF only and is within 2 years of graduating from the academy. How often should the CEO review and certify all eligible members for SDAP? Quarterly. What is the evaluation instruction? Is it Blueprint Instruction 1610.10? When are recruiters eligible for NOP evaluations? Eligible up to 6 months from check-in. What instruction governs the sponsorship program? UpNAP Instruction 1730.3. What instruction governs recruiting and listing irregularities? Navy recruiting personnel should be expeditiously reported to NAFGROUP 00IG. NAFGROUP Instruction 1137.3 provides details concerning the policies and procedures governing recruiting and enlistment personnel irregularities. Can an officer request an out-of-proximity move? Yes, on a case-by-case basis. Can officer request off-duty employment? Employment of recruiter and support personnel in the civilian sector is subject to the commanding officer's approval and provisions of DoD 5500.7 and MILPERSBAN 537-010. Can you fault transfer an officer? No. Officers cannot be fault transferred. Poor performance and or misconduct should be documented and resolved in accordance with MILPERSBAN 1611.010. What department handles fault, no fault, and incompatibility transfers? PERS 4010. Who holds the NEC 800R? Career recruiters. Who holds the NEC 801R? Hometown recruiters. Can an 801R attend the CRF Academy? No, unless they convert to 800R, at which point they will attend the Academy upon execution of PCS orders. What minimum requirement can be satisfied in order for a CRF member to transfer to NORU, RQuad, CNRC, HQ staff, or region staff? Must have a minimum of 36 months experience as a DLCPO. What are the four positions that an individual must be slated to? All NCCM billets, all POSTOR CR and ACR billets, NRD NTAC CR and ACR billets, and Force National CR Executive Assistant billets. After the initial 36-month tour, how often should CRF HMR be evaluated? A continuing board will be convened every 24 months by the respective NACRUCOM district to determine to continue non-continue member. Personnel recommended for continuation as a CRF HMR will have their PRD adjusted for an additional 24 months from current assigned PRD. Personnel not recommended for continuation will be converted to CRF management, considered in a detailed status, and fall under the guideline of Blueprint Instruction 1133.29. Can nuclear enlisted sailors apply for conversion to CRF? No. If a member has 15 years as a CRF, can the NRDCO recommend forced conversion out of the CRF community? Yes. There is no minimum or maximum time for forced conversions. Can an NRDCO relieve an NRDCR? Yes, only with region endorsement. What will be some reasons for a CO to request relief of a CR? Occasionally, a CO may need to evaluate the professional abilities of their CR ACR. COs may relieve a CR ACR with region endorsement for misconduct or loss of confidence. Can an NRDCO relieve a DLCPO? COs may relieve a DLCPO for misconduct or for loss of confidence in their professional ability. Who holds the NEC 800R recruit canvasser, non-NCRF? Who holds the NEC 805R officer recruiter? When is an RDB, Recruiting Development Board, conducted? During the third month on production and any time after that. What is the purpose of the RDB? The purpose of the RDB is to check the recruiter's progress since graduation from NORU, determine status towards PQS qualification, identify areas where the recruiter may need additional training or assistance, and discuss any personal or professional issues that may hinder their development. Who chairs an RDB? And who are the other members? Chaired by the CO, other members include the ROPS, Command CMC, CR, and AC or ACR, and the command trainer. What form must be filled out prior to the RDB? Appendix F is filled out by the board, and Appendix G will be completed by the board and submitted with the F to the CO for final review. What is the purpose of an REB? The REB is held for those recruiters who fail to pass the RQB by their ninth month on board, or who successfully pass the RQB but whose production has been continually below average during the first 9 months in recruiting. The primary purpose of the REB is to evaluate whether the recruiter has the potential to eventually succeed or is incompatible with recruiting duty and should be made available to their rating detailer. Who chairs an REB and who are the members? Chaired by the XO. Other members are the CMC, ROPS, CR, and command trainer. What are the types of transfers? Fault, no fault, and incompatibility. Can these transfers be used to substitute disciplinary action? No. Can you fault, no fault, or incompatibility transfer an NEC 2612? No. Who is eligible for fault, no fault, or incompatible transfers? Convestor recruiters, classifiers, and enlisted officer recruiters. Can a recruiter request to be transferred with a no fault or incompatibility transfer? No. Which transfer is the only transfer that reflects negatively on a recruiter? Fault. Can you no fault transfer a member with HUMS or EFM issues? No. If a recruiter becomes pregnant, can you request a no fault transfer? No. What are the different types of moves available on recruiting duty? Close proximity moves and out of proximity. What is considered a close proximity move? CNRC considers a close proximity move to be 50 miles or less with the sailor's current PDS to a new PDS. What is considered out of proximity? If the new assignment involves change in the PDS that is not proximity to the old PDS, greater than 50 miles or daily commute exceeds 1 hour each way, a PCS order is required. Who can approve enlisted recruiters or support personnel request off-duty employment? Employment of sailors in the civilian sector is subject to the commanding officer's approval. Where nuclear qualified recruiters should be placed within the NRD. To preclude excessive PCS costs, all nuclear qualified recruiters shall be stationed within proximity of the Nuclear Crew District Headquarters or MEPS, in the event the recruiter is needed to fill the 6-year-old nuclear field recruiter billet. Where can you find information for procedures to accept a member? Article 1910 of the Penal Enforcement provides authority and guidance on the administrative discharge of enlisted personnel. Penal Enforcement 1910-704 provides a table for determining the separation authority for discharge. What are the primary objectives of the National Advertising Campaign? To create Navy awareness and to generate leads for field recruiters to call to action advertising. What is the purpose of PSAs, public service announcements? The primary objective of the PSA program is to obtain the maximum advertising exposure on a public service basis in both electronic and print media through a coordinated national and local effort. What is local advertising? Network districts are provided funding authorization in order to place print advertisement in regional publications and limited media as authorized per 11 Common Curriculum Instruction 1140.3 and to conduct local direct mail campaigns in order to generate leads cost effectively for recruiter follow-up. Who reviews and approves all national advertising materials? NRC and NI. Who approves local advertising material? NRDs are provided approved examples of advertisements and direct mail letters and flyers reviewed by NAFCUCROM program managers and approved by NAFCUCOM and 9. What are the types of RATs available to the field? Lead generation, electronic fulfillment, sales closing, transition, and awareness. What instructions govern the Public Affairs Office? Policies. SECNAF Instruction 5720.44. Navy Public Affairs Policy and Regulations provides the basic guidance for conducting public affairs programs throughout the naval establishment. What does RDAC stand for? Recruiting District Assistance Council. What does EOV stand for? Education Orientation Visit. What does RTI stand for? Recruiting Tactics Instructor. What does an RTI do? Provides NTAC and NRD commanding officers on-site expertise in recruiting tactics, techniques, procedures, and systems to train incumbent recruiting personnel. What does NUPOC stand for? Nuclear Propulsion Officer Candidate. What does PRIDE stand for? Personalized recruiting for immediate and delayed enlistment. Major milestones must happen to a future sailor upon joining the Navy. 72-hour induct no later than 3 days of joining the Navy, not to exceed 5 days. IMC, initial mentoring, completed at least 1 week after 72-hour induct. Phone contacts must be 3 times a month. Face-to-face must be at least 2 times a month, 1 dev meeting and another mentoring contact. 3 days. NRS Rink will conduct a recertification. 7-day. NRS Rink conducts recertification. 24-hour. Prior to shipping recertification, reiterated information from the 7-day. What is the purpose of the DEP? A. Maintain future sellers' motivation throughout their time in DEP. Motivation serves to build commitment to the Navy while minimizing attrition. Central to this purpose is the mentoring relationship established and maintained between the recruiter and the future sailor. Mentally and physically prepare future sailors for recruit training with the objective of reducing attrition. Inherent to this requirement is voluntary participation in the initial fitness assessment. C. Consistently screen future sailors to ensure they continue to meet enlistment criteria, which may affect their ability or eligibility to ship. This also ensures that the future sailor remains qualified for program guarantees or enlistment options. D. Encourage future sailors to provide quality referrals to recruiters who can discuss Navy benefits and opportunities with these prospects. How many dev meetings per month is the CO, XO, CMC, and Ops OIC required attending? Minimum of 1 per month. What is the minimum number of NRS visits that DLCPO is required to achieve? Conduct a minimum of 1 station visit per month. Any exception must be granted in writing by the EPO. How many dev meetings per month must a DLCPO attend? Attend dev meeting functions as frequently as practicable, with a minimum of 2 per month, and ensure the use of the dev toolkit in planning and conducting dev meetings. How long turnover audits must be maintained by the DLCPO? Turnover audits and retain on file for 2 years. Who is the most important person in the chain of command in relation to the DEP program? The LPO and LCPO's leadership role is critical to the success of the DEP. More simply put, no one is more important. The rank must be held accountable for what happens or what does not happen with his or her DEP pool. What are the minimum documents to be maintained in the DEP training folder? 72-hour NDoc, DEP recert, whole harmless agreement, and DEP referral. What is one purpose of the 72-hour NDoc? Effective 72-hour NDocs will eliminate buyer's remorse and provide a good foundation for the future sailors' relationships with the recruiters during their time in the DEP. What is the purpose of the monthly mentoring contact? The purpose of the monthly mentoring contact is to continue the mentoring relationship established at the 72-hour NDoc. It provides the recruiter with the time necessary to go over DEP PQS, verify future sellers' enlistment eligibility, conduct physical fitness training, and discuss referral prospecting. What shall happen at the initial mentoring contact? Reemphasize the Navy's core values and drug abuse policy. Review and update the Navy's prospect specific value proposition, PSVP. What is the minimum DEP attendance required by all NRS? 80% or higher. DEP PQS tracking sheets will be maintained for how long? Completed DEP tracking sheets shall be retained for a period of 24 months and will be subject to inspection as part of the command inspection program. Is DEP PQS completion mandatory for all future sailors? No. The completion of DEP PQS is mandatory for all non-Tier 1 future sailors. When will future sailors be introduced to the Navy's fitness and nutrition plan as well as the Navy's high weight body fat requirements during the 72-hour NDoc? Who are the only personnel authorized to administer the PST? Only NSW, NSO, ARR coordinators, contracted mentors, and commanding officer designated PST administrators are authorized to administer the PST. How often shall the NSO, NSW candidates conduct PSTs to remain eligible for the program? Applicants classified into the Water Challenge program should be made aware that this program involves strenuous conditioning and requires applicants to successfully pass the PST. First, DEP qualifying prior to classification into NSW. Second, practice every 45 days while in DEP to remain qualified. 14 days within a 14-day period to shipping. What happens if the NSW candidate fails the 14-day PST? Failure to successfully pass the PST renders member ineligible to remain in the program and requires a mandatory reclass into another program. Who and when can NSW NSO candidates be authorized to run portions of PST on a treadmill? Due to seasonal weather conditions, the run portion of PST can be administered on a treadmill upon approval of the NTAC CO. What is the purpose of the DEP action request? DAR. A DAR is used to notify the chain of command of any changes in feature cellular status, regardless of how insignificant. How long does the chain of command have to act on a DAR? Each member of the chain of command will act quickly on each DAR. In cases where disposition cannot be recommended within 2 working days, indicate the status and plan of action in the comment section and forward without final disposition. What is the purpose of the DEB research? The objective of the DEB research is early identification of issues that impact enlistment eligibility. It is crucial that every effort must be made to ensure this process is meaningful and relevant. Apathy in the implementation of this process will result in increased DEB attrition. How often are recertification required? DEB research are required monthly and may be conducted during 30 days and 7 days prior to ship. DEB meetings, monthly mentoring contact. Whenever the DLCPO, LPO, or LCPO feels there is a need to recertify the feature sailor due to increased trends in the disclosure of problems or issues from the DEP. When shall a DEP audit be conducted? DEP audits are to be conducted by the division leading chief petty officer whenever there is a sign of excessive losses or excessive problems in the DEP pool, in-month or out-month, and when a turnover of recruiter, LPO, or LCPO and division leading chief petty officer occurs. How shall the DLCPO conduct a DEP audit? Division leading chief petty officers will conduct DEP audits face-to-face with all feature sailors and complete a DEP research. The results of each interview will be documented in ARM and on the NAC Group 113362 DEP research form. A DAR will be completed and forwarded via the chain of command for any relevant problems discovered. How long shall DEP audit results be retained for, and whom are they forwarded to? Results should be retained for 2 years and forwarded to the commanding officer via the chain of command. What is the purpose of attrition analysis? The primary purpose of attrition analysis is to identify the trends associated with attrition in order to develop a plan of action for minimal impact on mission success. Who will conduct monthly DEP and RTC attrition analysis? The EPO will conduct a monthly analysis of DEP and RTC attrition and forward results along with recommended corrective actions to the commanding officer for review and approval. If a feature seller refers an officer a session, are they promoted, advancing to E2, certificate of promotion, and CO letter of command, LOC, letter of commendation? Who is assigned primary responsibility for administration of the recruiting referral recognition program? N3. Who is the policy manager? N35. How long do we keep the log for referrals awards? The RINC shall maintain a file of all recruiting referral recognition documents for 3 years. How long do you have to submit a 53051 upon DEP in a DEP referral? DEPing of a referral. Submit 53051 within 1 working day when new contracts are processed. Who is the CACO, Casualty Assistant Calls Officer? Who is DEPA? Who is Ombudsman? Who is the CFL? Who is the Command Financial Specialist? Who is the CMO? When are evaluations due? E4 evaluations are 15th of June, E5 evaluations are 15th of March, E6 evaluations are 15th November, E7 15th of September. When are midterms due? E4 is 15th of December, E5 is 15th of September, E6 is 15th of May, E7 is 15th of March. How can SMART help you make a goal? What is the difference between ASAT and STEAM? How many net cons are there? There's 10 net cons. What are they? Total Navy, nuclear field, total Navy and nuclear field, wire challenge, priority ratings, total reserve, NAT and FTS, active information dominance corps, submarine, active female, reserve information dominance corps. What is depth slope? What is DST? Depth slope target. What is the purpose of DST? It is designed to ensure the nation continuously makes its accession It's assigned accession goals. How is the DST distributed to NRDs? It is fair shared out based on market to ensure all the NRDs have the same opportunity to obtain DST and NCO. What does the DST and NECON tell the classifiers? It tells them where the priority placement for contracts is. What is a CANREC instruction? BPERS instruction 1001.40. All erroneous and fraudulent enlistments and commissions shall be reported to when and to whom. All erroneous and fraudulent enlistments and commissions will be submitted within 30 days of discovery to NAFGROUP.com with copies to NAFGROUP.com, IGNJ, via chain of command for review and retention. What are the functions of the officer recruiter? The officer recruiter's function is to obtain qualified applicants for selection into the Navy's active and reserve officer communities. ORs must complete basic and advanced officer recruiter PQS within 6 months. What are the functions of the officer processor? In addition, officer processor lead OPL. The OP and OPL are responsible for the initial, ongoing, and final processing and quality assurance of all officer applications, both active and reserve, to final disposition. They process officer applications, enlistment, commissioning, and superseding appointment paperwork. What is a CHOPO, CHOPO? Chaplain Program Officer. What is the CCPO? Chaplain Candidate Programs Officer. What is OHARP? Officer Hometown Area Recruiting Program is designed to return outstanding Navy personnel to the home areas to assist local recruiters in locating quality prospects and establishing centers of influence. What is Seminar? Senior Minority Assistance to Recruiting Programming provides outstanding minority personnel E6 through O6 to interface with influential members in the minority community and inform them of opportunities for minorities in today's Navy. What are the Officer Candidate School student programs? Bachelor Degree Completion Program, or BDCP. Nuclear Propulsion Officer Candidate, or NUPOC. Naval Reactors Engineer, or NRE. Nuclear Power Instruction, or NPI. Civil Engineer Corps Student Program, or CEC. What are the Officer Development Schools ODS student programs? Health Service Collegiate Program, or HSCP. Health Professionals Scholarship Program, or HPSP. Financial Assistance Program, or FAP. Nurse Candidate Program, or NCP. Dental Student Program, or DC. Medical Service Corps, MSC. Judge Advocate General Corps Student Program, JAG, and Chaplain. What is the ASTB? Aviation Selection Test Battery. How many score components in the ASTB? 6 score components. 1. Academic Qualifications Rating, or AQR. 2. Pilot Flight Aptitude Rating, or PFAR. 3. Pilot Aviation Fit, PAF. 4. Flight Officer Flight Aptitude Rating, or FOFAR. 5. Flight Officer Aviation Fit, or FOAF. And last, an Officer Aptitude Rating, OAR. What are the parts of the OAR? Math Skill Test, or MST. Reading Comprehension Test, or RCT. And Mechanical Comprehension Test, or MCT. Who takes the OER? All applicants for Acting Component General Officer programs, including CEC, are required to complete the Officer Aptitude Rating portion of the ASTB and obtain a minimum score of 35 in order to qualify for kit submission. Note, Nuclear Power Officer, Chaplain, and JAG applicants are exempt from this requirement and are therefore not required to complete the OER portion. How many times can an applicant take the ASTB? A lifetime limit of 3 ASTB administrations is mandated for the current version of the ASTB. What is the wait time for the first retest? The first retest shall occur only after 30 full calendar days have elapsed between the date of the completion of the first full ASTB administration and the start date of the retest. Do not retest before the 31st day. Second retest. A second and final retest is authorized no earlier than 30 days from the completion of the first retest. Testing to occur no earlier than 31st day. Who can administer the ASTB? OP or OPL? What ways can an officer applicant take the ASTB? Pencil or on a computer? What is the name of the computer-based program for the ASTB? Is apex.net. What is the preferred method? Web. Who is in charge of scheduling physicals for officer applicants? OP or OPL? I'm sorry, OP or OPL? Whom do OPs report to? OPL. Who is responsible for the training of the officer processing staff? OPL. Whom does the OPL report to? OPS or OIC? What is a PM, Program Manager? What is the CLO and what do they do? Campus Liaison Officer. CLOs are reserve officers who usually hold faculty or administrative positions at colleges or universities. They report the respective uh, NTAC commanding officer and will be utilized for an NTAC to assist in officer recruiting. The benefit of being a CLO is that they earn drill points for holding the position. What is a PSLO and what do they do? Professional School Liaison Officers. PSLOs are reserve and retired officers who usually hold faculty or administrative positions at medical schools, dental schools, nursing schools, etc. They are utilized by the MTAC to assist in medical and dental programs recruiting. How long to assign a lead to an OR? 24 hours. How long does the officer recruiter or OR have to contact the lead? Attempt contact with the lead within 72 hours of receipt. What is a pro board and what are the results? All applications past an initial screening will be reviewed by a pro board conducted either by the applicable officer community manager or NACFOCOM. Once a professional recommendation is received, a Rec Pro Y or N will be entered into the applicant's Pride Mod 2 record. What is FinCell? Final selection. What are FinDocs? Final documents. What are ComDocs or enlistment docs? Commissioning documents. How long is OCS? 12 weeks. How long is ODS? 5 weeks. What is DCOIC and how long is it? Direct Commissioning Officer Indoctrination Course and it's 2 weeks. What is ORPMS? Officer Recruiting Production and Management System. What is the purpose of ORPMS? ORPMS provides production personnel with the tools necessary to effectively evaluate recruiting activities and achieve goal. Applicant logs shall be used by the OPO, OAICR, and ORs, and designated station LPO or LCPO to plan and evaluate production. What is the purpose of the officer prospecting applicant log? The applicant log is a tracking system for applicants who were interviewed and is essential in assisting recruiters to get the face-to-face with qualified prospects in order to expedite the recruiting process. How long is the applicant log kept for? Current plus 12 months. How Who assigns annual officer goals? Based upon the OPO and OACR input, the NTAC commanding officer will provide an annual officer programs goaling letter. How often are goaling letters reviewed? The NTAC CO, XO, and OPO, and OACR will review goal attainment progress with each officer recruiter on a monthly basis, and the NTAC CO, OPO, and OR will initial and date the bottom of the original letter for each quarter. What is OPR? Officer Production Review. The Officer Production Review is the single most important weekly interaction between the OPO, OACR, and OR. It is designed to diagnose, plan, and expedite improvements. What is ORAMS? Officer Recruiter Annual Market and Prospecting System. Purpose to standardize officer programs operations, planning, and marketing in Navy recruiting command activities. When must the CO review and approve ORAMs? The ORAM shall be reviewed and approved by the NTAC CO no later than September 1st of each year. How often must ORAMs be verified? The ORAMs shall be reviewed and electronically signed by the ACR, OPO, CO, or XO, OPO and ACR monthly, CO or XO quarterly. What is CCPD? Centralized Credentials and Privileging Directorate. Who utilizes CCPD? Medical Corps, Medical Service Corps, Dental Corps, and Nurse Corps. When must you give When must you give active duty collegiate? A copy of Appendix A, Active Duty Collegiate Handbook. Who are considered active duty collegiate? BDCP, CEC, NUPOC, NRE, NPI, and HSCP. When is a collegiate 72-hour? Active duty collegiates must enlist within 15 working days of receiving their final selection letter. Following enlistment, schedule a face-to-face meeting with the active duty collegiate within 5 days, not to exceed 3 working days following enlistment. What are the minimum contact requirements for collegiate? The recruiter, LPO, LCPO, or OACR, is required to contact the collegiate a minimum of once per month, either by telephone or face-to-face, or online video teleconferencing application, starting with the month following the initial indoctrination meeting. A minimum of one face-to-face meeting is required bi-monthly. What is CMR? A collegiate management report. What are CMRs due? No later than 31 of January and 30th of June. When is an adverse CMR due? All adverse CMRs must be sent within 10 working days of receipt via the respective region or command. Who must complete the PFA? Who must complete PFAs? Active duty collegiates are required to complete the physical fitness assessment twice a year in accordance with Operating Instruction 6110.1. The PFA must consist of the following: 1.5-mile curl-ups and planks. Alternatives for the rung, swimming, stationary bike, or electric trainer are not authorized for active duty collegiates. Which active duty collegiate can be advanced? NUPOC, BDCP, CEC, HSCP. NUPOC, NR, and PI collegiates may be meritoriously advanced one pay grade upon referring a link that results in an accession to the NUPOC, Nuclear Power School Instructor, or Naval Reactors Engineer programs up to the rate of OCC and pay grade E7. BDCP collegiates may be advanced up to 2 pay grades while in BDCP to a maximum of E5. CEC collegiates may be advanced via 3 different methods while in the CEC collegiate program to a maximum pay grade of E5. HSCP collegiates may be advanced to up to 1 pay grade while in HSCP collegiate program to a maximum of E7. Who must conduct your analysis? Active duty collegiates are active duty members of the command population pool and will be required to participate in the command analysis program. Who are the IR collegiates? CCPO, JAG, HPSP, NCP, and FAP. What are those collegiates entitled to? They are entitled to all benefit and privileges commensurate with their pay grade and are required to fulfill all obligations of this instruction and their service agreement, with the exception of wearing uniforms and adhering to military grooming standards. Are collegiates subject to the UCMJ? Yes.